Come
Gotta
on,
be
it's
quiet.
quiet.
Okay. Let's move on to GLAAD Awards. It seemed very interesting. You looked amazing. Tell me everything. Tell me about Margaret Josephs. What happened?
Look, I mean, Margaret and I were estranged, and that's okay. You know, that's okay. I'm okay with that. But although I wish, you know, I don't want to ruin someone's life. So look, all day someone's like, "Oh, I think Margaret's going to be there." I'm like, "Okay, well, this is first of all for a charity. This is a charity night because it's for the LGBTQIA plus in the media. So, you know, I should be there more than Margaret Joseph. Sorry, I am a gay man that's in the media, but there's room for all of us. I mean, go, but I'm not worried, first of all, about anyone having a problem with them in real life, but there's thousands of people there. I mean, let everyone calm down. So anyway, as we were going in, I said to the friends I was with, look, once again, I'm bringing some friends, Chris, his husband. I'm like, my friend Evan was there. I'm like, listen, you guys, let me just explain to you. I know you guys all have different jobs. Let me explain to you. You all know what I do. This is, if Margaret comes up to me, I have to, my phone is going to be out and I'm going to hit the record button and I'm going to hold it up.
Wow.
And well, I mean, that's what these listeners want here. That's what these listeners want. It's called receipts, girl. And at some point, I might have to tell her I'm going to call security. Like, I don't know. Listen, this might go down one of two ways, but I'm just telling you, you have full authority to walk away from me. If you're embarrassed, if you're nervous, I understand you are
Can
nice
you
people.
like it can in one or two sentences? Can you just reset for us? Why are you two feuding? What happened?
Well, I mean, look, she's going to say it's because I had her ex best friend, Laura Lee Jensen, on the podcast,
Okay.
but there was problems so much farther than that. And then me saying Melissa's going to be fired this season, me saying Melissa and Nick did kiss, which they did. I mean, so many things. Listen, here's the bottom line. We'll sum it up in a nutshell because everyone on Patreon is like, God, we've heard like Margaret is one of those people. Like, it's just, I'm sure you know people like that in your life. There are people that you just follow in their footsteps. They are control people, and you have to either be a soldier and you're either with them or you're against them. I don't have friendships like that. If Kim D has a different opinion than me, I'm like, you have your opinion and I have mine. It's not a big deal. You can like someone, Sarah. I cannot like them. I cannot run a podcast where my loyalty is to all these listeners and direct the narrative of I am friends with Margaret, so therefore Melissa is a god. Melissa does no wrong. Melissa didn't kiss Nick. Melissa's not going to be fired. Margaret's not going to be fired. I give my opinion, which changes from week to week based on the facts. I cannot fall in line as a soldier to any housewife because I have a job to do, and my loyalty is towards the Behind the Velvet Rope Sarah Fraser Show listeners, not a housewife. Nothing personal. I have nothing against Margaret. But when I started spinning this narrative, she was not happy about Melissa because that was a strike against her and Melissa, and it was Team Trey. I ain't Team Trey. Just giving you my facts. So it's long, complicated history. When I had Laura Lee Jensen on, the friendship was probably over, but that certainly put the nail in the coffin when she texted me and said, our friendship is officially over.
Now I'm following along. Okay.
I said, thank you for, I didn't even respond because I don't, but I mean, I got a text. I was told if you put the text out to the world, which I know you're going to do, I have not. Please don't edit it out. Please put it out in full. Okay, Margaret, if I want to release it to someone, I'll put it out in full. It's neither here nor there. She broke up with me and kicked me to the corner like a stale crust of bread. Fast forward to great Margaret. Good luck. Sorry you're so bothered by Laura being on my podcast and the fact that I cannot be controlled. Coming to the GLAAD Awards, I don't have a problem with her, but knowing her, and I even checked with Laura, who I'm friends with Laura, regardless of Margaret. She's like, no, I think Margaret would actually confront you if she saw you face to face. So I went in just saying, like, I'm having a lovely evening out, but if I see her approaching me, I'm going to hit record, hold it up, record the whole thing. All these people, if she got loud and told me I was disgusting, I would remind her that we're here for a charity for the LGBTQIA people.
Okay.
I'm one of them. And that at some point I was going to say, if you don't back off, I'm going to call fucking security. Now, at that point, my friends would say, oh my God, we're so nervous. What's going on? A normal human being that has an office desk job that is not listening to this would be a little like, wow, this is the real world. Yes, this is the real world of how these women live a lot of the time. So I was not looking for a fight, but you got to record it. You don't think that you'd like to see the video today, everyone? Anyway, I then explained to them there's some other people, she's going to be with this lovely person, Jackie Goldschneider. to me, I would think Jackie would tell me off as well. Like, that's disgusting what you did to your friend. I mean, even though I didn't do anything, I've said some things about Jackie on the Patreon. Something, I give my honest opinion. Anyway, I'll make a long story short. We sit down under a table, and the next thing I know, we're eating later. Some woman comes running up to me and literally jumps on my lap, basically about to break my legs. It was the one, the only Braunwyn Windham Burke.
Braunwyn.
Right. So, like, I'm friends with Braunwyn in the real world. We met through this podcast. We did it in person. We become friends. She's like, oh my God, you never met my wife. She was sitting at the table.
She married? Is Braunwyn married? Or they're
Let me get back to you on that one, because
okay.
like we had the Vegas wedding, but it wasn't official. And this is when I tell you guys that I just skip over stories that we're not going to talk about. But she got married in Vegas. They said it wasn't an official wedding. I think she refers to this woman as her wife as opposed to her girlfriend. I literally, at this point, an evening is like, there's so much going on. Braunwyn's like, I'm sitting with Kyle from below deck, or, come and meet my wife. Let's just call her the wife. Okay, great, Braunwyn. Let me come to the table. Hi, Kyle, below deck, woo, 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 wife. Oh my God, Braunwyn, you're amazing, girl. I know you're going to come to the Hamptons. You'll stay with me, darling. How's Tennessee? I'll come see you. No, you'll really come to the Hamptons.
She lives in Tennessee. Braunwyn lives in Tennessee now?
Moved to Tennessee. Yeah.
Did the whole family move from the OC?
Not Sean.
So, but what about the kids?
The kids are there.
So poor Sean is living solo on the West Coast, solo dolo?
Listen, I don't know. Do the kids go back and forth? Are they there for that? I don't know. But if
I didn't follow this. Okay.
Again, like last time she was in New York, let's have lunch. We planned it. Then I woke up. I said, I'm in Sag Harbor. I hear birds chirping. Look at this gorgeous Sag Harbor place. I have to come 3 hours to the city for a lunch. I'm like, I'm sorry, Braunwyn, I can't make it today. So when I go to lunch with her and we sit down and we talk, we'll figure that out. But something like that. Yes, the kids back and forth,
Wow.
So I think, so met the wife, go back to the table. Love you, Braunwyn. See you at the after party. Go back to the table. I sit down. My friend was like, listen, you're lucky you weren't just sitting in your chair, because right standing in front of you, heading to the bathroom, was Jackie Goldschneider. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I think that would have been awkward. Anyway, so stand up, like you were standing up or clapping. Someone got an award, whatever. And I turn around and like, literally staring directly at me is Jackie Goldschneider. So at this point, I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, cause I'm not going to approach, cause like, I'm just not in the mood to be told off. And then like, Jackie's like, what? So she's basically heading towards me. I'm like, oh Jesus. So we hug and she's like, I hate you. And she's like, I love you, but I hate you. So that to me, that kind of broke the ice.
That was a good icebreaker. Good for you, Jackie. Yeah.
And she's like, I hate you, but I just, no matter how much I hate you, I can't help but love you. And I said, I assumed you hate me because you blocked me. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, it's okay. You, Margaret, and Melissa blocked me. I understand Margaret probably No, she didn't text me to tell me to block you. Okay, whatever, Jackie. Listen, I really respect Jackie. So now I'm back on the Jackie kick. She's like, listen, you have a job to do. You're doing your job. I have a job to do. I totally understand. She's like, your podcast is literally everywhere. I see it everywhere. She's like, listen, on the Patreon,
right.
She's like, listen, you haven't really said horrible things about me. She's like, Kim D is another story. I'm like, Kim pretty much says horrible things about you, yes. But I really haven't. The only thing I just got in the media, the only thing I said is like, Kim, do you think Jackie realizes she's fired? And Kim is like, yeah, I think she realizes it at this point. And Kim calls Jackie pink pad, as in like pink slip, like you're not coming back. That's Kim, not me. That's how Kim refers to her on
Kim,
it's not me. But
okay.
I am like, okay, listen, I am having a very pleasant experience with Jackie. Hi, Jackie. I agree with what she said. I'm doing a job. I did apologize. I saw Evan walking around earlier. I said, listen, I saw Evan. I almost came face to face with him. I don't want to, I didn't think. She's like, Evan doesn't hate you. I don't hate you. No one hates you. I'm like, listen, that's my motto. I really am doing a job. I apologize. No one told me to apologize. I said, like, look, I am sorry for, I don't want to be a troll. There are trolls out there. Trolls come for you, Sarah. They come for me. They come for Jackie. They come for Margaret. This is the job. They do it to them on a much if you think about it, we're in the same situation as them on just a much smaller scale, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I am sorry if anything I said like hurt you, hurt your like, and it's and not even with an ego. It's just I feel dirty. I feel dirty when I come face to face with someone that I don't regret anything I say, and I don't backtrack, and I won't not tell the truth. You just feel dirty of like, this is not the business tonight. This is a charity. Like, and so I totally respect someone who's like, that's your job. And you're telling your truth, David. And I said, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I'm like, your friend over there ain't going to agree with you on that. Your friend don't think the same thing about me. She hates me. And she's like, well, Margaret tends to take things maybe a little more seriously than I do. What? I mean, that's the fucking understatement of the year if I ever heard one. I mean, the woman sits up in bed at night on a Finsta digging for dirt on everyone. So like, okay, Jackie, like, thank you. But that's like a real that's like a real understatement. Now someone's asking me, I think it's being leaked about the thing on ABC that I'm in that's coming up. God, the phone just blows up during this thing here.
Nate, I want to read. I think it's about Sandoval. That's what it's about.
It's not, but that's, I think, should be the next one. Close though. Close, girl. Very, very, very close, my darling.
It's the Chrisleys.
Hold on there. So she was like, so I'm like, look, okay, great. I mean, listen, do I think Jackie, I mean, like say 1 to 10 on a scale of drunkenness, I would have put myself, although in retrospect, but I would have put myself like at a 3 at the time. When I thought about the interaction the next day, I'm like, maybe I was more at a 5. I would put Jackie at like an 8.5 of sobriety during this interaction. No shade.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, I would be drunk to talk. I mean, I put myself in their positions too. I mean, the end of the day, I try to always say it here when I do my TLC talk, episodes where I recap and talk to TLC people. They are people, they are people. Most of them are good people. Yeah, they have some things missing that make them extra entertaining. But, and you and I know this because we've worked in the business. Lots of times celebrities are also extra sensitive. Like you would think that you've wanted fame, you put yourself on here, you subject everything about your life and your family's lives. You would think you wouldn't give one fuck, but they do care. And it's hard. It's hard for us to honestly do our jobs, but yet like be kind to them. And then as you and I always talk about, lots of times you're never going to be friends with them in real life. So it's like, why do you, it's always a fine line to walk. And I don't blame Jackie. If I were in Jackie's position, I'd probably have to be drunk to talk to us too. I'd be like, I mean, I thought that's a great icebreaker that she said, how true.
Totally. And by the way, and then she said, like, David, come on. Like, this is a blip in my life. Like, I'm not going to let my whole life is not defined by housewives. Now, I love that. And here's the 2 things I will say. And then we're going to have to drop a note about the thing because the thing just leaked. That like the trailer's out. So this is real time. Now I can announce it.
I want to see. Okay.
We can't, it's a whole episode. We can't talk about it. But I feel Jackie is, look, we're media. So I feel like you're also saying this because I'm going to talk about this on air. And also you kind of know you're not coming back. So of course you want to spin this narrative that you're fine. No shade. I love Jackie. I love Evan. I thought it was a total class move. I would love to have Jackie on next season. And that's really it. And I never came face to face with Margaret, although I knew where she was sitting. That's all there was. And I'm back on the Jackie kick. I'm all right. Before we go, do you want me to drop it? I'll send you the trailer.
Tell us real quick.
May 22nd. I don't know when this is going to air. It's probably going to air after that. You will literally interview me about the